one-sided thing. It's a one-way traffic. It takes away initiative from people. If you keep on giving monthly checks for survival, those who receive those checks don't have any initiative to do anything for themselves. So they just sit there, and their creativity is lost. And the children that are born in those families also do not have any tradition of any work or changing their own life and efforts and initiative. So you are actually destroying the basic human quality of initiative. That's not a good idea. Human beings thrive under challenges. So you have to create those challenges. And business creates that challenge and competition and so on. So I would rather say best way to remove poverty is to create opportunities for people to take on newer and newer challenges so that they can create new life for them and they can contribute to helping creating better life for everybody else. So in the process of changing my life, I'm also touching the lives of other people because it spills over. So this is what the whole process is. If you can take half the population, the bottom half of the population of the world, energize them, imagine the flow of things that will happen in the economy and the energy and the boost that it will get from the extra 3 billion people participating in that economy. That will touch on every single person.
We live in a finite world where, you, in your book, you write about how people in the early days of Grameen said to you, look, this bank is personality-based. It's based on you, and without you, this thing is just not going to go. Well, we already know that that's not true. It's because of you. You're the spearhead. You are the rainmaker. You are the accountable point person for the delivery of the entire new institution of what this is, and you're the carrier and steward for it on a global level. And in the finite world that you and I live, you and I have X number of years to be on the earth.
That's right.
And with that said, I'm going to pose one of my favorite questions.
Go ahead.
God knocks on your door.
Yeah.
And in your case, it's a she.
Okay, of course, yes.
In your case, it's a she. She knocks on your door, and she tells you that you have 1 year left to live.
Yeah.
And she tells you that you really have to fast track, really set up and wrap up all of what you need done that's to carry on for generations to come.
Yeah.
And basically you're left being told that. What is Dr. Muhammad Yunus, the founder of the Grameen Bank, going to do the next year?
Well, the first thing I would do, I will thank God for giving me this life, that I could do something which I enjoyed doing, and I thought it would be very useful to other people. So that part will be expressing my gratitude to God for giving me this life. And the second one, if I have 1 more year to go, I know the most important thing which needs to be done to eliminate poverty completely. 2 basic things needs to be done. One is the legal framework, because all these things can be done if we have the right kind of legal framework for banking to create microcredit bank or Grameen credit banks, so that we have tiny little Grameen credit banks anywhere people would like to do that. It doesn't need a lot of investment. It needs tiny little investment, and they will take the deposits from local people and lend it out to the local poor people and help them overcome their poverty. So this is one, the legal framework and the independent regulatory body.
When you say legal framework, you mean Bangladesh or in general?
Everywhere, because this doesn't exist. Because now the law is created in a way which created the kind of banking institutions you see. So it's also fault of the law itself. So you create a law which will create Grameen type of bank. Help them create, because we needed a separate law in Bangladesh to create Grameen Bank for the simple reason that the existing law, which exists everywhere in the world, doesn't allow to function the way we function. So I will lobby around, and I'll go around the world and meet the top executives, the presidents of the country, or the prime ministers of the country, explain how important this part is, and I'll take a prototype of a legislation to give it to them, that this is a law you must pass because this will allow the creation of these tiny little banks. You don't have to spend a penny from the government. It's the people taking initiative to solve people's own problems. So your job is to help people do that by creating right kind of institutions, by creating the legal framework. So this is one I would like.
Before you even go to number 2, because with that said, you know that, and when you go to meet the leaders of different countries, that to propose a new law or offer up the new legislation, that with that also comes dealing with the geopolitics, the powers that be, that are adverse to this type of institution because it would release millions and billions of people from the stronghold of the economic situation as we know and understand it, of the banking laws as we know and understand it, and it would release this stronghold and this huge entity and this huge universe in which things are going on would feel greatly threatened. But of course, it only takes 1 or 2 leaders to get going, and the whole thing starts like a snowball. As long as the Grameen prototype was not a threat to the Federal Reserve, I think all systems are a go. It really will just take some people that are ready to move. With that said, are you available this next year?
Yeah, I'm available, of course.
I was just wondering if God happened to have appointed somebody to take you out of Bangladesh for a little while to make that happen. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
You sound very ready. And now I'm ready for point number 2.
Now, let me respond to your comments.
Yes.
First, while I meet the leaders of the countries and the governments, I know that there are lobbies who will continue to see this as a threat. And I'll explain very clearly, in very clear terms, there is no threat. It's a win-win situation for everybody. Because Grameen doesn't come up as a threat to anybody. We are not taking away anybody's business. We are not taking away anybody's meal. It increases everybody's opportunity because it's a politically good. So politicians will understand helping the poor and getting them out of poverty, unemployment, homelessness is always an appealing political platform. So they will love it. It's economically sound because it brings new strength to the economy. So there is no opposition. It's not a threat to the existing banks because we are not taking away their business because they are not in that business. We are only adding a new part to that business. This will help them improve their business. It's also socially good. This will reduce drugs, crimes on the street because people will be busy taking care of the new opportunities that they will be receiving. So this I'll make it very clear. And the second part that I will try to do and explain to the leaders, and particularly leaders of information technology, how important the information technology is to be spread in absolutely the most remotest place in the earth and also to the poorest person. The imagination is the poor people probably have no use for information technology. I'll try to break that imagination, that this is a completely misunderstanding of the poor people's need. If we can bring information technology to the poor people in the size and the shape they need the information technology in that type so that they can make use of it. Like one way I describe information technology for the poor is to create Aladdin's lamp. Information technology is almost like Aladdin's lamp. The poor person talks to the digital genie in that Aladdin's lamp and tells what her problem is and how to solve that problem. And genie helps her solve the problem, give the information, give the knowledge, give the skill, and give the market she's looking for, connect her with the consumer that would be interested in her product. So she will overcome the problem of lack of information, lack of knowledge, lack of skill, and also she will overcome the problem of middleman who takes away all the benefit of the marketing of her product. Now she can market it directly to the consumer at the other end of the world because the distance has no meaning in information technology. Information technology creates a distanceless world, a languageless world ultimately. She will be speaking in her own dialect. The listener will be listening to her conversation in the language that he